fuck it. Branden here, time for more Branden's Boy Problems. So my time in New York did come to an end. Even before I moved to New York City, I said, I just want to experience living in New York City for like 1 year, and then I'll see like what happens after that 1 year. I did it for a year and 2 extra months, and realistically, it just did not make sense to stay there. And like, it is like this saying, it's like you don't want to be a failure, where it's like if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And I guess I wasn't able to make it there, but I mean, New York City is still there. I can always still go back. I'm not far away, but it's also just like, it was a lot. And it's like, I did like it, but I also didn't like it. And here's why. So the main reasons, two of the biggest reasons why I moved to New York were because, well, it was something I always wanted to experience, just being gay, growing up, seeing all of like New York City and TV and film. It's like you want to live that lifestyle in New York. And honestly, I do prefer cities where like I don't need a car, I can take the train everywhere, I can just walk around. And like New York had that, had lots of great food options, like there was always something to do. And I did enjoy myself when I did have money to enjoy myself, but it really is a struggle. Like, just going there, and like the prices of groceries are like astronomically different than like what I'm used to. Even going to like other major cities, like Chicago even feels like dirt cheap when you go to like New York. And it's just like random things like frozen foods, like bacon, cereal would be like $10-15. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Where like normally that stuff is like under $10, like what I'm used to, and then it's like 10-15, and like the prices were just crazy. It was crazy that like in my neighborhood the cheapest grocery store was Target, and normally if you live like anywhere, like Target's like the most expensive place to shop, but like Target is cheap compared to a lot of these New York grocery stores. That makes it like impossible to even want to like support local or buy local when like the prices are so ridiculous. Granted, like there were little like random shops everywhere, like mom and pop stores, and like I guess I didn't really go to like a lot of the dirty looking places. I just wanted to get like a regular grocery store, so I started going to Trader Joe's, even though it wasn't in my neighborhood, but like it was cheaper. And yeah, it's just prices of stuff was crazy. Like rent wasn't like the worst thing ever, because like I did have like a 1 bedroom and like a 3 bedroom apartment, but like I did not get along with my landlord at all. He did so much shady fucked up shit the entire time I lived there. Literally 1 month after living there, he let his parents come move in for 2 months, and then it was just like nonstop bullshit ever since. Like my door was broken multiple times. He was still expecting me to pay full rent when I didn't have like a door on my room working for like half a month. He would like falsely accuse me of like having to owe him extra money to have to like prove it in like the lease agreement. Like, no, that's not what it says. Like, it was just nonstop bullshit from the beginning to end. And like he was not letting me renew my lease, but he also failed to give me like the proper notice to tell me he wasn't renewing my lease, which is how I got those extra 2 months anyway. But that was a mess, and honestly that was also part of it. It's like it didn't make sense to even try to look for a new place. It's like I need to get the fuck out of New York. It's just not working. But also like the biggest things that weren't working were that love life portion, because like you think New York City, it's the biggest city in the country, like where else you're gonna have this many options for gay men? And like it literally is like the worst place I've ever lived to date. Like Boston was better, Atlanta was better, I've even found a boyfriend in my hometown. Like New York was not it. And like I was not expecting to be that bad, even though literally all my friends before I moved there were all bitter and jaded against dating. But I was like, oh, let me be hopeful, I'm new here, maybe I'll have lots of dates. And like I was getting dates, like even my first week I had like 2 dates, but I never saw them again. One guy just completely ghosted me, and I actually liked it. I liked him a lot after our date. But then, well, he did have something going on. Like, a lot of the guys there are on some weird living situation where, like, they're living with an ex, they're living with their green card marriage, especially if you meet a Latino guy. There's a huge chance he's in a green card marriage with somebody. There's guys that like you go on a date with them, and the next thing you know, they had to leave New York because it wasn't working out for them anymore. So I think that's also why dating in New York is so hard, because everyone's literally trying to like fight to stay alive and struggling to like stay afloat in New York. But in reality, you're like, it makes it hard to even be able to prioritize dating, because it's like your own life isn't steady or situated financially, career-wise, etc. So it's really hard to like want to be able to invest in a relationship. And like some people make it work, and a lot of people do find love in New York. I did not have that success in my first year there. I had like dates here and there. I had a lot of bad dates. It was a lot of wanting to split the bill, which is awful. Like, though I guess I've just embraced it now. I'm in my mid 30s that finding guys willing to pay the bill is just rare. I mean, there were some guys that did pay, but it's like the downside of that is like I'm just usually not attracted to them at all. So it's just like go on a date with a guy you like, never see him again. He's living with his ex. He's in a green card marriage. He's just not into you. He leaves New York. Like, it was just chaos. And then you go out with guys like you're not really that into, and then you also still never see them again, or they even ghost you back, even though you weren't planning to ever talk to them again anyway. Or you just realize you fizzle out because there's just nothing like to invest in. And that is a harder part too. It's like New York has tons of gay men, like hundreds of thousands of gay men, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna find guys your type. And I do feel like the guys in New York, like I've always had the same type. Like I like big, beefy, brawny, witch, and bearded. And like there is like a bear scene, but there really is only like one real bear club. Because even at like the Eagle, which is like normally supposed to be like a bear bar, is like it's mainly like hairy guys or just guys in like leather, and mainly just guys that just want to be able to hook up at a bar. But it's like you don't. There weren't really like bears. Like I like a big, thick, solid man, and like there was like one bear bar, but like it's kind of like dungy and grimy, and it's like I would go there often. And I had fun, but it wasn't really like I wasn't usually meeting like too many guys my type. I mean, the last guy I hooked up with was like from Israel and visiting, so like you can always get visitors too, but locals in New York, it's just quantity is there, but quality is not there. So I literally believe every single thing I see online, where it's like New York is the worst place to date, and it really is so true. Like it was rough. It's just like option wise, it's low with like finding guys my type, and then actually being able to like go on a real date and find a guy that's not too flaky. And it's like you would think like the trains are 24/7, but like people are still too lazy to want to travel. Since like I lived in Upper Manhattan, so then it's like going to Brooklyn or Queens would be like over an hour. Trying to go to the Bronx, if they weren't like right there, like there's no train from Washington Heights to the Bronx directly, so you'd have to go all the way down and go all the way back up. So like nobody wants to deal with that. So it's like in New York, it's like everyone wants to host, nobody wants to travel. And then also there's a lot of guys that can't host because like they either live with family or they live with friends or they live with their husband in their loveless green card marriage. So it was like a lot of craziness going on. It's like every guy I feel like I liked was in some weird like living situation, especially the Latino men. And like my most consistent relationship I had in my entire year in New York was with a DL Dominican that barely even spoke English. Like we talked via translator. So it's just kind of like it was a lot. It was just like not a good place to date. So all the rumors are true. New York is awful to date in. And then acting, like I wanted to get back into acting. Like New York is an entertainment capital. It is definitely more known for like theater, but they do have TV shows that film in the New York area. And I hadn't been doing any acting since I lived in Atlanta, and that was like many years ago. So like I really wanted to get back into acting, and like it was a struggle. Like even to book a role as an extra was not happening. Like it literally, by the time I left in late June, my previous last time I was on set was in January. So the fact that I could go 5 months without even be able to book anything as an extra is crazy. And like I know the entire industry is down. Like Hollywood is like the least amount of film they've had going on for like ever. So like it's really bad like overall in the country, and like a lot of stuff is leaving the US and going to like London and other countries because they're getting better tax incentives, and like people don't want to deal with Trump and the bullshit. But it is just like damn, like if you're an actor in America, it's like there's barely any work, even to be like work as an extra. And like I was wondering, like I thought like, okay, I'm a fresh face in this market. I'm new, like I'm unique looking. But then it's like, I guess I wasn't that unique looking in New York because everyone thinks I'm Dominican and there's like tons of them there. So like in Atlanta, like nobody else was looking at like me. So like it was really easy to book jobs. But like in New York, it just was not happening. And I guess there's also more priority for SAG there. So of course they prioritize SAG actors, and I was non-union. But it also was just like, I could not book anything. I only booked one speaking role. My goal was to book at least like 3 within a year, even if it was just like a student film or something. But I only booked like one thing my entire like year there. It was just not it. New York was a struggle, so it really doesn't make any since staying there, especially since I've gotten in so much debt just moving to New York, trying to stay afloat in New York. Like, it was like the worst financial decision I've ever made in my entire life. I don't regret moving to New York. I'm glad I did it. It was a lifelong goal I wanted to accomplish. I accomplished it, so I'm super proud of myself getting that time to experience living in New York City. But it really truly isn't like worth it if you're not like living, I guess, the luxurious New York City lifestyle. Like, you really do need a lot of money to like survive there, to have fun, because it's also like the work I do, it's more freelance, so it's also, I was traveling a lot too, so it's like I'm making most of my money when I get out of New York and travel to other places, which also kind of makes it hard to like want to stay and enjoy New York, where it's like I'm always having to go somewhere else to make money, whereas I could live somewhere else that's cheaper and travel and just go to New York for fun, because the best things I was enjoying doing in New York were stuff that I could do as a tourist, like going out to eat, trying new restaurants, like going out to the clubs. Like, those are really my favorite parts of being in New York City. And even like my closest friends there were like leaving soon or like want to leave, so like New York just, I think it's definitely great to experience, and I'm glad I got to experience it, but overall, like wanting to like stay there for like long term, like part of me still feels like, okay, I want to go back. I feel like I don't want to be a failure. I want to be able to make it in New York. And like, it was great for work opportunities. I got to work so many great events. I never would get those opportunities to work those anywhere else in the world. So like, that part I loved about New York, but the overall, like, financially, it was awful. Work opportunities, it was great for new opportunities, but like consistent opportunities, it still was like iffy as like other places are. Price wise, it was super overpriced for a lot of basic shit. Quality of life is awful. Like, my place had no AC, no, it had heat, but like having to have fans, like New York gets so hot and humid in the summer, it was unbearable. In the subways, I feel like no matter how cute you feel and like fresh and clean when you leave your house, so you step outside of that New York City humidity and then go down on the subway, you just feel disgusting. So it's like hard to feel like clean. And I feel like New York, you're paying a lot to live in poverty. Like, I've never had roaches anywhere I've ever lived in my entire life, and in New York I started seeing roaches. There's rats everywhere. Like, it's just gross there, and it's like you want to be in New York because it's like the prestigiousness, and like people do look at you and treat you differently when you say you live in New York City, but when you actually really living it, it's rough. Like, you are paying a lot to live in poverty, and it's just kind of like, why am I doing this when I get a better quality of life for cheaper elsewhere? But it's also like, it's New York. Like, I love being able to hop on the train. I love being able to just go out and explore. I love being there. So it's like a love-hate relationship. It's like, do I want to go back and give it another chance and hopefully just have more money and like have a better lifestyle? Or do you want to just like enjoy life elsewhere where there could be better opportunities and better quality of life? But love life-wise, it sucks. Career-wise, I got some great opportunities that I still have. So like, career-wise is definitely a pro. Food, nightlife was great. It's just the dating sucked. Financially, it sucked. Quality of life sucked. Like, it just was not the best experience. And I also kind of felt like whenever I left for like a work trip, like I wasn't always like that excited to go back to New York. I kind of was just kind of like, But I also could just be like, I hated where I live because I hated my landlord, and then the bullshit with dealing with that, but also just the fact that it was like struggle city. So on one hand, I miss New York. On the other hand, I'm glad I got out when I did, especially since there's been so much like flooding and shootings and like craziness going on in New York City. So I can't say I would never move back, because part of me still wants to move back, because I think I love being in the Northeast, and like I love that convenience, and like there is a prestigiousness that comes with being in New York. Like, you get to brag about, I'm in New York City and you're not. But yeah, I tried it. My 1-year trial ended, and now gotta figure out what's next. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Brandon's Boy Problems.